It's your friendly neighborhood mama. Thank you for tuning in. Today I'm focusing on a series called Unfiltered Motherhood. It's not what you expect, but I'm so glad that you're tuning in with me today. And before I go on, I would just like to say Happy Mother's Day to all the beautiful mamas out there. I want to encourage you and let you know that you are amazing, you are perfect for the job, and keep trying your very best. And first of all, remember that you are not alone. Unfiltered Motherhood, a series that I'd like to begin. And Unfiltered Motherhood is close to my heart, obviously, because I'm a mom. I'm breaking this series down into 3 different sections. The first is my confessions. I have a confession. The second is bounce back. And then the third is good mother. You're like, okay, Mentha, where are you going with this? All right, everything that I'm saying has been close to my heart, and I feel like it's important to share it with the world. It's a time I'm going to be vulnerable and open and unfiltered to a limit. And this is all in regards to motherhood. Before I go on, I pray that your eyes are open, and my goal is to be who I needed. And I hope that after you listen to this video, you can be who you need. And that means simply sharing your story and encouraging other mamas. Let's begin. My confessions is not what you expect. Please don't judge me. I pray that you have open eyes and open lens, and there's some of you that might feel every word that I'm going to say. My confessions. Believe it or not, I just recently started to enjoy motherhood. Yeah, you're like, Mentha, come on. You're a mother, how can you not enjoy motherhood? Let me tell you, I love my kids. I love their little souls, their hearts. I love everything about my babies. I love them. I do. And I will do anything for them. But motherhood itself, the responsibility that's never ending, you don't stop, you keep going, you really don't get breaks. I think motherhood, I had a different vision of what motherhood would be like. Some of you may relate to this. I feel like the load was heavy. I had a picture perfect magazine picture of what motherhood was like, where everything is just white furniture. We're all smiling all the time, laughing. The house is clean. Having your house clean and trying to keep it clean is like brushing your teeth with Oreos. It's just not happening. That's my favorite saying. You know, every day you have to feed your kids 3 times a day and hoping and praying that they will eat the food that you've made, and then washing dishes, and then laundry. Don't get me started with laundry. Never ending. The weight of the world is on my shoulders, and that's simple. And I'm home. I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I'm home all the time. You would think I'm able and capable of getting these things done, and I'm not, and it's so defeating. The most frustrating thing is being at home and getting nothing done. You know, I beat myself up for that. Motherhood also is not what I expected to be. I thought that my precious babies would come out the birth canal and they would be just amazing and eating everything I put on their plate. They would never talk back. They will always listen and sleep through the night. Y'all laughing at me. Like, what was she thinking? Sleep through the night? Eat all the food? That's the expectation that I had. And obviously, it didn't come through. So, my expectation was different than reality. I was hit hard, and all of that on myself was heavy. And you know, during the time I found myself comparing my life to others, to my other peers, where they're traveling the world, no kids, perfect bodies, and all this stuff, and I'm sitting here stuck in the house with my kids. I also learned that the grass isn't always greener on the other side. But I also would like to express how beautiful motherhood is. The unconditional love that your children have for you is so unmeasurable, beyond words that I can actually express. The love that my kids have for me, even when I fall short and I'm not perfect daily, it's amazing. And to that, I am so grateful. When I watch my little babies and when I look at them, And like, wow, when they start to learn new things, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're learning. Or I teach them something and they're doing something I taught them. I'm like, this is amazing. I can say that what I most adore about motherhood and my children is that they make me laugh so much. These kids are hilarious. And laughter is so important, you know, for our family. And they make me laugh. And it's amazing how they make me laugh and cry and be frustrated and a mess all at the same time in the same day. It's amazing. Motherhood is beautiful. So I don't want to knock that and scare anyone away. Like, ooh, I don't want to be a mom. No, there's some amazing things about being a mother. Really quick, right before my first child was entering kindergarten, I was telling Joe, my husband, I'm like, I can't do this. I can't be a stay-at-home mom. The weight of the world is on my shoulders. I can't be at home anymore. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I was so frustrated and beyond belief, and I just couldn't fathom like the feelings I was getting. I'm like, I can't do this. And then I said, something's not right. I'm a Christian. I love Jesus. Why am I feeling this way? And then I felt just peace that came over me. I ugly cried. I'm like, Lord, please help me. I shouldn't feel this way. Help me, God. So I started getting up in the morning, like 5:15, 5:30. It's super hard, but so worth it, where I was spending time praying and reading the word. And God was clear to me. He said, you're gonna be okay. Before I go on, I would like to backtrack. Before I became a mother, I was like all over the place. You know, volunteering, working, going to school, just going on the go, freedom. I was free. And then I got married, and 6 months later we got pregnant. And I was like, oh my gosh. And now fast forwarding, we have a 5-year-old, a 4-year-old, and an 18-month-old. And I wouldn't trade my life for the riches of the world. I love my family, but motherhood is hard. So I was just so frustrated. I spent so much time in frustration because I didn't want to be at home. I couldn't take the weight of the world of being a mother. I had so many like gifts and skills. I'm like, I could be out in the field using the gifts that God has given me. And when I started getting up in the morning and reading the word and praying, God said, you're gonna get through this, because your job in this season is to be at home with your precious babies and use the skills and the gifts at home. And I was like, oh, what? That's not what I expected. He said, I've given you all that you need. It's at your hand and at your disposal. It's what you do with it. So don't get me wrong. I'm not like, oh, I love being at home. Oh, it's the favorite thing in the world. There's days where I want to run away when I don't have enough sleep. And laundry is still overwhelming. Cleaning is still overwhelming. Them not wanting to eat the meals that I provide, it's still overwhelming. But I have such a love for it, and I'm taking it in and loving my babies while I can, and so young, and teaching them all that I can. My goal is for them to love Jesus and be disciples for his kingdom and spread the word. So I have to take everything I have in my hand, my skills, my gifts, and apply it to my home life, and that's my job. Soon enough, I'll get out in the field and be able to do more, but my primary focus is at home. So that's my confession. I now understand my role as a mother, and motherhood, it suits me. I feel so much more equipped in my role for this season, and understanding that the world is dark, and my job is to bring light into the world with the kids that God has given me. So I hope that with the frustrations that you may have in motherhood that I had, and the fears of failing my kids, thinking I wasn't good enough, God has given me peace. And I hope that you can have peace at some point, understanding that you are made for this job. That is my confession. The next segment to my series is bounce back. Now, what does bounce back mean? We all heard that term so many times before. And bouncing back, people would describe as you looking like you looked before you had children. My thing is, do you ever really bounce back? Physically, okay? Physically, we're talking about the physical aspect. Do we ever really bounce back? Some, yes. Some people, I have friends that look flawless, as if they never had kids. And then there's people like me. They're like, Mentha, but you have bounced back. You're skinny. People see bouncing back as skinny, losing all the baby weight, and fitting into the clothes that you were fitting in before you had kids. And yes, you can say that. I bounced back in that sense, but for me personally, underneath my clothes, I felt like I didn't bounce back. No one told me. This is what I wish I knew before having kids. No one told me that my breasts would start to sag and they would get flat. I was like, nobody told me that. Or my skin will sag, and stretch marks would be covering my body and I just wouldn't be the same. So, do we really bounce back? Sure, some people bounce back. Do others like me? In a sense, bounce back. But for me, I struggled for a long time because I did change. My body was not the same from before having kids. My breasts aren't perky anymore. My skin is flabby. I have a hernia, stretch marks covering my whole body. I consider myself a circus clown. Now, after I had the kids, I looked in the mirror and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm ready to wear a nun outfit like from Sister Act, okay? I was ready to cover my whole body. I couldn't take it anymore. I did not like the way I look because I can no longer wear a two-piece. Dresses don't fit the same. I still look a little bit pregnant sometimes. People are like, Mentha, please, you're just exaggerating. Well, this is me. This is how I feel in my story. My question is bouncing back necessary? Is it necessary to bounce back? Will you ever bounce back? And if you don't, is that bad? I came to a realization that I will never bounce back and have the body that I used to have. I was talking to my husband and I said, I need you to admit that my body has changed because that was important to me. Say, your body has changed. So to all the significant others out there, let your person know that they have changed, but you still love them. And understanding we have to understand what our body has done. We gave birth to children. We endured pain and allowed our body to bring beauty into the world. That's change in itself. And how significant and amazing that is. I want to encourage all you beautiful mamas out there, okay? You are beautiful still. Your body's not the same, but what you brought into the world is beautiful and you have to accept that. Understand that it's time to accept that your body has changed. Love you, choose you, and understand that you are beautiful. So yes, you have changed. You don't look the same, but that's okay. So bouncing back, it's not all necessary. Let's dive into a good mother. Now, backstory. Sometime last year, I was at Dollar Tree, my favorite store in the world, and I was shopping with all 3 kids. Carelessly, just shopping free. Remember those days where you could shop free? No masks, not to worry, 6 feet apart. And I had all 3 kids. I had a double stroller, one in the car seat, one sitting in the seat, and one next to it. And walking around, and this lady came up to me and she said, hey, you are a good mother. And I was like, me? Really? I was so impressed and shocked because I was like, she doesn't even know me. And those are the words I needed at that moment because I just needed those words of affirmation. Right beforehand, I didn't feel like a good mother because I'm more on the mean side. I'm a no mom and I'm pretty strict. So when she said those words to me, I was like, I was in my glory and I accepted it and I loved it. So excited to hear those words. And she continued to say, your kids are so well behaved. They're not running around in the store. They're not like yelling and screaming and running up down the aisles. And I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you. You know, and I accepted it, no problem. And then I left the store sometime in the day. I was kind of pondering on the words, a good mother. I was like, what does that mean? A good mother. Then I questioned myself and I said, what is a good mother? What if my kids were crying and screaming and the lady seen me? Would she consider me a bad mother? Because at that moment, my kids were in a state of mind, maybe having a meltdown because I said no, or they were in need of a nap. Would that have made me a bad mother in her lens, in her judgmental lens? But I consider myself a good mother. So let's break this down. What is a good mother? Or what makes a good mother? Now, I'm gonna look down on my sheets because I wanna make sure I cover what a good mother is, okay? So, to all my mamas out there, let me encourage you, be inspired, and hear this, all right? You are
a good mother if your children had meltdowns. Maybe they're in need of a nap. If you had a C-section, a vaginal delivery, or adopted a precious baby, you are a good mother. If you breastfeed or bottle feed, you are a good mother. If you make baby food or jar food, you are a good mother. If you give your child preservatives or organic food, you are a good mother. If you use disposable diapers or cloth diapers, you're still a good mama. If you co-sleep with your baby or let your baby sleep alone, you're a good mother. If you make homemade cupcakes or store-bought cupcakes for their birthday, you're still a good mother. If you make your kids' Halloween costume or buy it, you're still a good mother. If you give your kids the recommended veggies or fruit, or you don't, you're still a good mother. If you are a hands-on crafty mom or not me, you're still a good mother. If you enjoy playing on the floor with your child or not, you're still a good mother. I don't like playing. If your child does sign language under 2 or not, you're still a good mother. If your child's potty trained at 4 or not, you are still a good mother. If your child has more screen time than the next in one day, you're still a good mother. If you go to church or not, you are still a good mother. If you yell a lot or not, I yell a lot.
You are still a good mother. Let's face it, we all have a different perspective of what a good mother is based on what we've seen in our lifetime. And that's okay. We all know how tiresome motherhood can be, and we know how confusing kids are. Example, one moment your kid eats chicken and they love it, and then the next day you try to give it to them, they're not having it. We all know that kids don't really appreciate all that you do for them, and then a lot of nights we go to bed and say, I wish that they seen that I was trying. There are a lot of nights where I go to bed wondering if I yelled too much, or if I showed enough love to them, or did they feel valued enough? Did I give enough fruit today? Did I acknowledge their milestones or achievements? I go to bed wondering, am I a good fit? Am I a good mother? Let's continue. A good mother is someone who tries her best, who admits her faults, who loves unconditionally, who surrounds herself with other mothers. We know we can't do this alone. Who practices self-care, who hugs and tells her kids that she loves them. And my favorite part is a good mother is also overwhelmed, tired, stressed at times, and experiences self-doubt. With all of those feelings, you still are a good mother. Now, if we really have to mention what a bad mother is, I'm not going into details, but let's state it clear. A bad mother, you would consider a bad mother who is intentionally neglecting their child and conducting child abuse, physically, mentally, any type of abuse. That is considered, I would say, a bad mother. As mothers, we all know that our job is never ending. We really don't get a break. No disrespect to dads out there, but we know mothers, our brain never rests. We're always going 24 hours. When we sleep, we still wake up in a frantic wondering and making sure that our child is still breathing, you know, or if we forgot something in the day, we wake up in the night. Sometimes we don't see ourselves worthy. We don't see ourselves worthy or good enough for the job. We compare ourselves to other moms. We compare ourselves to the Instagram moms, the celebrity moms, and saying, oh, I could do this, I can do that, and not realizing that's not us. But I want to encourage you, the time is now to stop comparing yourself, stop beating yourself up, and take a moment to love yourself and say, yes, I am a good mother. I may not be perfect, but I'm perfect for the job. I would like to encourage you to reach out to other mothers and understanding that the motherhood journey, you're not alone. You don't have to do this alone. Reach out. If you need help, ask for help. I'm going to be honest, I fall short of that. And I don't like asking for help because I feel like motherhood is my burden and my journey, and I brought the kids into the world, so I should do everything on my own. But that mindset has to change. And I know I'm not the only one that experiences that feeling. But I like to encourage that if you have mastered motherhood or you're an older mother, if you have a lot of wisdom, I encourage you to share that. If you've mastered something, share that with other moms. Encourage that with other moms. You may be experiencing something that someone else has experienced, and you guys could join together and share that experience. Lastly, for another encouragement, I like to encourage all mothers to work together. We're in this journey together, better than the next, but yet we should walk alongside of each other and seriously encourage each other and understanding that we're in this journey together and we're literally going through the same thing. I know that I'm not the only one that's constantly trying to clean the house and make sure the kids eat healthy 3 meals a day and feel like the weight of the world is on me. Understand that they do grow up fast, and people keep telling me that, and I'm trying to enjoy every moment that I can, but we know how difficult that can be. And motherhood can be a confusing journey. So I want to encourage all mothers out there, remember, you are beautiful, you are worthy, and you are made for the job. We are going to get through this together. And I just hit the surface. Didn't have time to go too deep, but I hope that you are encouraged and you understand where I'm coming from, and I hope that you are inspired. Share your story. Share your motherhood story. Be an encourager. Thanks for tuning in, and have a wonderful day.